Hello and welcome to MomBabes, where every mom is a babe. And if you're like, Christina, I don't feel like a babe, I am wearing the most ridiculous leggings under my romper right now. Then this channel is especially for you. MomBabes is a place where women can feel beautiful, seen, encouraged, and welcomed enthusiastically. So welcome. I'm so grateful to have you here. At the time I'm filming this video, my audience is very small, so I appreciate every single person that is here with me. It means so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Every mom is a creative, and if you're like, I'm not a creative, that's a lie, because raising a live human being is the most creative thing that there is. I am usually saying at this point, come hang out with me every Thursday, subscribe and ding the bell to get notified each time I release a new video. But I'm going to start saying, come hang out with me every other Thursday so that you can subscribe and ding the bell to get notified each time I release a video. I am going to create a little more creative balance in my life. I do writing as well, and I've taking time to invest in that, and I'll keep you posted as my writing ventures develop. But that means that I will be here every other Thursday. We will be able to connect then. Today we are talking about just this little idea that has really grown inside of me, and thinking about motherhood and thinking about growing and learning in life in general, and that is what my kids are teaching me. Now, obviously, as parents, our role is to teach our kids, but if you allow yourself to be observant and open, you will find that your kids will also teach you things, which has been one of the most rewarding parts of being a mom. Sometimes you don't super like what they're teaching you, and sometimes it's really profound. So what I want this video to be for you is for you to think about your kids, or just people in your life that would be unexpected places for you to learn from. Who in your life is teaching you something, and especially if it's someone that you wouldn't expect. So that's what I want you to start thinking about as you're going through your week in your life, is what are these people teaching me? And not didactically teaching you, but through their life and through the way they are, what are you learning? What can you learn from the people around you? I'm going to give you some examples of what I am learning from my kids. The first thing that I distinctly remember, the first lesson my kids ever taught me, is that there is no need to compare, that you can appreciate yourself for where you're at and not compare yourself to those around you. For example, when my babies are on their bellies, still not crawling, and they're at the milestone where they're supposed to be crawling or walking or whatever. Both my boys were very late walkers. They didn't start walking until 17 months. So they took their time. But at the same time, they didn't care. They weren't looking around at other babies like, oh, they're walking now, I should be walking. They were perfectly content and happy to crawl around and roll and make progress and take their time. But they didn't compare themselves to other babies, which I almost wish I had that in my life. I'm sure that would be refreshing for a lot of other people too, where you move at your pace and do what is right for you in this season in your life, and kind of like, not that they ignore their people, but they just kind of don't care. Like, that's great that you're walking, but whatever. So that was one of the first things that really struck me, was all the milestones, specifically physical milestones, of them not really taking notice of other babies around them. And I wish I was more like that. The other thing my kids are teaching me is to laugh more. My children laugh at everything, like a butterfly flying by. They delight in that. We spend a lot of time outside, so a lot of the outside things, or even if they trip, they will laugh at themselves. And just this general laughing. I know that laughing is so good for you. It's so good for your brain. I've heard too that your body receives the same positive hormones, the same reinforcement if you do forced laughter. Like, your brain knows that it's fake laughter, but your body can't tell the difference between fake laughter and real laughter. So you should just start making yourself laugh as often as possible. And then if you start fake laughing, I found that it will actually lead to a real laugh. one of the things I make my kids do when I'm trying to take photos at them is I'll be like, go ha 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 ha, which everyone gives me a hard time about, but then they start doing that and then they start actually laughing and then you get the golden photo. So start laughing more like your kids do. The other thing I am learning from them is to observe, to watch things intently, to ask questions, to see how things operate. They are always open to learning and they're always watching. And I think so much as adults, we get caught up in our schedule, our lives, especially as moms. Our to-do list there is no words to describe your to-do list. It's just everything. So to sit and observe anything, something very simple, or to observe people, or to just watch the world around you and to not have to accomplish in that moment, to just sit and be and watch is a lost art, I think. I have another video about white space that I will link to, but it's one of those ways that you can create white space and learn and just watch the world around you and take a second to be present and to actually live this life. One of the hardest things that has been to learn is the level of accountability that my kids give me. I'll give you an example. We all know that kids pay attention to everything and you have to watch what you say. I never promise anything because they remember and will hold you to, especially the things that they want. And so we prioritize eating pretty healthy as a family for our kids. But every once in a while, I want to have a fun snack that we do not give to our kids. They go down for a quiet time or nap time in the afternoon, and when they got up, you know, children, they like to go through the trash can. And so my 3-year-old is digging in the recycle bin and pulls out a box of mac and cheese and says, "What's this?" And I looked at it and I was like, "Oh, look, there's like a bunny and a cow. Isn't that cute? Let's put this back." And he picks it up again. He says, "No, what's that?" pointing to the mac and cheese. And I just started laughing so hard. And then he started laughing because I was laughing, and it ended up being this kind of funny, super cute moment. But in a way, it's like, okay, well, he's old enough now. When they're little, you can get away with a lot, but as they get older, you're like, okay, this is accountability for me. If, you know, he's gonna eat healthy, I have to eat healthy too. Or get more creative about sneaking my special snack every once in a while. On a deeper note, kids challenge you to be the best version of yourself. I have found myself thinking about the legacy that I want to leave for them, how they're going to remember me. And that is something that they are teaching me, is to be a better person in terms of my character, diligence, consistency. And they are the best form of accountability because they're there with you all the time. They will speak their mind even if you're in public at the worst, most embarrassing moment possible. The other thing my kids are teaching me is to be more playful, to take that moment and engage with them. I am very guilty of getting caught up in my to-do list because when you finally have this beautiful, gorgeous, hallelujah second to get anything done, you so desperately want to get something done because you're always behind and everything's crazy. But when your kid comes up to you and says, "I love you, mommy," and wants to play tag, to take that, and usually it's not a long time. Usually it's only like 2 to 5 minutes that we're going to play tag and then we'll get back to what we're doing. But if you can allow yourself to be interrupted and be more playful in your everyday life, those tiny little 1 minute here, 2 minutes there breathe life into your whole family culture. And I think sometimes we get overwhelmed because we're like, oh no, I have to sit down and play learning game with them for 30 minutes, or I have to do this for 10 minutes. And I have found that a lot of times they move on very quickly anyway. And so it's only like 2 to 5 minutes a few times a day that when they are engaged and they're wanting to play, that you allow yourself to play back with them. It's something I'm still working on because it's very hard to wrench away from the laundry or the dishes or whatever, because I just love order so much. But that is something that they are teaching me, to be more playful. They're also teaching me to be less serious and just more fun, to not get so uptight about everything, which is probably something I've always struggled with. That is something I've been thinking a lot about as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this little video on the things that my kids are teaching me. Maybe you can start watching your kids to see what they can teach you, or just look at the unexpected, even strangers or people that you have interactions with. Start to observe, start to slow down. What can the people around you teach you? And hopefully you'll take it to heart to make some little adjustments in your life. If no one has told you yet today, you are doing a good job. Like I said, here at MomBabes, I want to make sure that every woman is beautiful, she is seen, she is encouraged, and she is welcomed enthusiastically. I will catch you next time.